it's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again with another view from the van preview. And this weekend's game, of course, it's Newcastle United against Liverpool at St James's Park. Tea time kick-off under the lights and an opportunity to right a major wrong after we were fucking molested by Jurgen Bastard Klopp and his turkey teeth down at Anfield. The points stolen away from us thanks to, well, an inability to read a fucking clock, thanks to goals, perfectly legitimate goals being ruled out. Yes, the night that I think most Newcastle fans have been waiting for has come back around, and what a perfect way to send the lads off to Wembley than by getting 3 points and putting the final nail in the coffin for Liverpool's chances of getting into the top four well and truly for this season at least. And hopefully, like I said, just even the playing field up, just bloody his nose a little bit, Jurgen Klopp and his bastard stupid fucking caps. What an absolute twat. Pure and utter fanny face. Can't stand the bloke. Used to respect him, but lost all respect when you're fucking celebrating like that, like you'd won the Champions League final, when no, what you've just done is just manipulated the situation, just got your own way, had your little Fergie time moments and stuff like that. That's all that you did. Disgusting scenes, poor taste. Of course, all the Newcastle fans have seen the footage with the Liverpool fans giving our Newcastle United lads absolute fucking grief, you know, as they were coming off the pitch and stuff like that. And to be fair, it's the other way around. They should be fucking ashamed with what went on down at Anfield on that night back in August. I still, towards the end of February, our only league defeat this campaign. And the last team, of course, to beat us at St James's Park were Liverpool as well. So it's about time that we set the record straight. And I think it's a perfect game to set us up for Wembley, to get us that momentum, to get us that confidence, belief and swagger back, ready for next weekend's crucial, huge game, you know, down in London at Wembley in the League Cup final. But Eddie Howe touched upon it in the press conference today. There's no thoughts about any of that at the moment. It's all down to Liverpool. That's what the focus has been all week. That's what they've been concentrating on. No talk in the dressing room about the League Cup or anything else like that. The plans have been sorted. Preparation will start in earnest after this game. But it's a game, like I say, it's going to have special atmosphere, an extra little bit of needle, and yeah, I'm desperate to see them win. I think we will win. I don't think one decent result against a very, very poor Scouse Mackin fucking side makes for your season. Doesn't you know, need and warrant a fucking open top bus parade and get the flags out and celebrating in front of the fucking cop and anything else that you want to throw on top. I don't think it needs any of that. Everton are shit. They are shocking. They're poor, and they've got a fucking goalkeeper with the shortest fucking arms in existence. Wee tiny arm T-Rex is shit. He's fucking shit. So I wouldn't be celebrating at all. It probably shows you how poor that their season has been this campaign. But yeah, we win. I think it's the final nail in the coffin for their Champions League hopes. At the moment, they will be sitting there thinking half a season to go. We can hunt down that gap. We can overtake. We can get back into the Champions League. And to be fair, with the players that they have got at their disposal, and they've got some of those players back from injury for this game, you know, they should be a greater collective unit than what they currently are. They've got some fantastic players, but they are not working in unison. They're not getting the most out of them, and that is why they have had a stuttering season. Even prior to this Everton victory, you know, they've struggled and they've lost in places and against teams they should never have. And whereby Newcastle United and Eddie Howe, we're getting more as a collective out than out of what should be the sum of the components. It's the other way around down at Anfield. But Eddie Howe is getting so much more out of this squad. Yes, we do still have a Bruno-shaped hole in the midfield. However, if you cast your mind back to the game down at Anfield, rewind it back, we were missing Bruno on the night. We had no Wilson. I think we had no St Maximin. We had Jamal Lascelles playing at the back alongside Dan Burney, who was absolutely fantastic during that game for us down there. So we were missing players down there. You know, Isaac coming in, leading the line, enjoying playing against that high line that Liverpool like to operate with, of course. And you know, he had an absolute field day. He scored 2 perfectly good goals. The second one was chalked off. I'm still yet to find a justifiable reason why for me. But that's just a decision that you get at Anfield, isn't it? You know, the many years that Liverpool fans used to complain about decisions at Old Trafford and so on and so forth, it is exactly the same for Liverpool these days at Anfield. That is an Anfield decision, just like it was an Anfield decision to play, what, 60% over the top of the time that was already too much to start off with. You know, 8 minutes into stoppage time at the end, they scored the winner. It should have been 5 minutes. Disgusting. But yeah, they'd have just kept fucking playing, wouldn't they, all night until Liverpool had scored another goal. That's just the way that it worked. And yeah, you can't tell me that these referees aren't getting worse and more crooked by the fucking season. Because I can remember a day when there was part-time referees and they were fucking way better. They didn't have VAR and all this extra shit, but yet they still managed to get a much more of the obvious decisions, the most common sense decisions right all of the time. They didn't need to rely on VAR, and you know, it's just another way to try and shaft certain teams and certain clubs and to work to certain agendas. That's all it is. You can draw your lines where you fucking want. It's like a bastard Etch-a-Sketch at times with some of them people operating the bastard fucking VAR. So yeah, it's a perfect game this weekend to send the lads away. They will be pissed off. It will be fresh in their minds what went on. The shenanigans, we'll call them, down at Anfield, and they will want to set the record straight. We've a long undefeated record, so we need to protect that. And again, it's, like I said, it's building momentum, and it's also people trying to vie for places for the cup final lineup for next weekend back. And yeah, you know, there's going to be a few players here and there this week and next week who come back in to make us a lot stronger. Matt Target, he's back into full training. Great to see that. Javier Manquillo back into full training. Miggy and St. Maximin, who were major doubts after the Bournemouth game, have trained all week. Absolutely fine. Joe Willock is injured and he's going to probably miss this game, but he should be fine for the for the following week, which is massive news, because I think he's so underrated, Joe Willock. His speed, his pace, his directness is absolutely fantastic, and it's a major weapon that doesn't get the credit it deserves sometimes. Look at that Leicester goal when we won 2-1 and Bruno scored at the end. That's exactly what I mean. You know, that burst of pace down the left hand side, the cross in, and you turn 1 point into 3 points, and that is you know, absolutely massive. I'd give anything for that sort of thing at the moment. And then, of course, today we've also found out Callum Wilson is back into training today. He's missed, therefore, what, a good week's worth of training, which is frustrating, because I think he probably would have started in an ideal world, because I don't think Isak's fully back up to speed yet. However, he will not take a risk with Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson will be on the bench, mark my words, 100%. He will be on that bench. That'll be clipped down if he starts. But no, I just can't see it. I can't see it, not with the cup final coming up and everything else, with how fragile and brittle that Callum Wilson is at times. Eddie Howe being ultra cautious, he will start on the bench. Isak will lead the line, as he did down at Anfield. And like I touched on before, with the high line, he's got to fancy his chances, as will Alan St. Maximin, who will no doubt be playing in this game. And on the other side, Miggy Almiron. And Anthony Gordon as well, for that matter. I want to get to how I think that they might go actually in the lineup in a little bit, but they will all fancy it. Pacey players, tricky players, creative flair players who can exploit that high line of that Liverpool line and really give them a good game, a good test and a good examination, which is again something certainly that I don't think Everton particularly did in the latest Merseyside derby. So yeah, looking forward to that. Players coming back. The bench should hopefully be looking a lot stronger. Jamal Lascelles is also back this weekend. He missed last weekend's game, of course, through family and personal reasons. He'll be back. He's in contention. He's been seen in the training pictures and stuff as well. Yeah, so things are looking really good, really positive. Players will want to right the wrongs. I know Eddie Howe spoke very diplomatically much kinder than what I'd have spoken in a press conference, to be honest, but he certainly towed the political line and the Premier League line and all that sort of thing during his press conference. But the players, you've got to think, will be chomping at the bit to right that wrong. Still our only defeat of this league campaign, approaching the end of end of February. Now this game at the weekend, I think it is going to be tight. I don't think there'll be many goals in it. I've got a feeling it'll be like a 2-1. Personally, you could see it being another draw as well, which wouldn't be the worst result, I suppose, in the world. Frustrating against Bournemouth to get a draw, but it wouldn't be so frustrating to get a draw against Liverpool. But I'm going for 2-1. I'm going for 2-1, and it would be great as well to see somebody like Miggy continue and get a little bit of a run of form, a little run of games again where he's scoring goals, up to 10 goals now this season. There's a piece on our Facebook page where we've got a longer piece on the sort of rise and fall and rise again of Miguel Almiron, and the difference that we've seen, this season, all the good stuff that he's been able to do this season. That's over on our Facebook page, so if you haven't already, please do check that out. It does mean a lot. There's also as well Jack's match preview up on the Facebook page. Also always worth a read, very comprehensive, full for a preview for the game at the weekend. So I appreciate that absolutely massively, and I am confident that we will get the job done. Let me know what you think down below about what the score could be. Team news, I touched upon some of it before, but the team I think you'll go with at the weekend, the defence won't change. I know Dan Burn didn't have his best game last time out, but I think he'll keep his place, even if Target's back on the bench. So it will be Nick Pope in the middle of our goal, of course. He'll be at the back. And then across the defence, Captain Kieran Trippier, he'll be on the right hand side, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman and Dan Burn playing on the left hand side of the defence. In the central of midfield, we will have to sort of slightly tweak things, change things round just to sort of fit the available players and the little bit of an issue that we've got in central midfield at the moment. So it's going to be Sean Longstaff, it's going to be Big Joe Linton, who is safe as long as he doesn't get sent off. He's staring down the barrel of a 2-game league suspension if he picks up another yellow card, but that will come and he will serve that further down the line. But Joe Linton, Sean Longstaff in the middle, no Bruno, he is suspended sadly for the third and final game. And in the middle, I think we've got a number 10 already. He plays internationally as a number 10, so I would like to see Miguel Almiron played in the middle. It's a position that he does really well for his national side. He scores goals from. I think he's able to influence the game perfectly fine. He's suited for that. I would have him in the middle, and then either side you could have St Maximin and Anthony Gordon. Now St Maximin started off on the right hand side when he first came, so perhaps you could play him in on that side and give him a go down that side. You'd have the benefit, of course, then as well of having Kieran Trippier in his ear, helping him, micromanaging the game and stuff for him as well. So perhaps we could see that. Anthony Gordon on the other side, whichever way that they're set up between those two wide players. And then up top, Alexander Isak, who I fancy in this game to notch. He played tremendously well down at Anfield. The first goal that he got was brilliant, and the second goal was great as well. Shenanigans. Fucking hate that turkey fucking teeth bastard Jurgen Klopp. Honestly, I can just picture the fucking twat with his fucking his fist clenched, celebrating on the touchline there. So I want none of that at St James's Park. I really don't. Desperate, but that is the team that I think that we'll go with. So Miggy being drafted into the middle would be, I think, one way to go at it. But Anthony Gordon, Miggy and St Maximin. St Maximin will benefit again from playing consistently a few games in a row, and he will build it up all the way, no doubt about it. And the fans will be right behind him. You know, we do not forget that this bloke carried our football club for so long under fucking Bruce Ball that he deserves that support. He deserves the admiration, as he's gone through a little bit of a bumpy patch and stuff like that. But another game, another chance to shake off a little bit more of that ring rust, and to get better and better all the time as he does so. Hopefully the bench is looking stronger, because I said that at the weekend, the bench was nowhere near where it needs to be, and this has to be the focus going into the summer. Not only just looking at the first team, which is great, bringing Anthony Gordon for good money, it's a fantastic signing. However, when you haven't got that underbelly, when you haven't got the support that if a player's out injured or suspended, you can't bring somebody else in, that is a massive problem, because that's going to cost you points and cost you situations. Hopefully the bench this weekend will look a lot stronger. We shouldn't have to be fielding 16-year-old young lads. As great as it is to say youth prospects coming through, we shouldn't be forcing upon that before he's ready. It's too soon for the likes of Lewis Miley to be on the bench. Elliot Anderson, yes, have him on the bench. I think he should have been loaned out, but I'm not up for some of the others. It's too soon. It's too much. Yes, train with the first team and all that sort of good stuff, but know your limits, I think, is the right way. The Premier League is shark infested waters. You need to be prepared and ready for that, in my opinion. So yeah, a good strong bench so we can make changes, and hopefully if we get our noses a goal or two ahead, then manage the game as it goes on, protect players, because the last thing you want is a rash red card. The last thing you want is players picking up injuries and that sort of thing. And when you've got people from fucking Sunderland as linos, when you've got people from Manchester as referees and stuff like that, I would leave no small stone unturned in preparation for this game. So get in the lead, hopefully maybe 2-0 up, and then just see out the game, make the substitutions, protect the players, rotate, give people minutes, give people opportunities to shine. Is definitely the way to go for me. Lovely. So I think that covers everything. 2-1. That's the team that I was going to go with. I honestly think the players will be desperate to right the wrongs and to keep this fantastic record of only losing once. We have lost the least amount in the entire Premier League, and it's some accolade from a team who was literally balls deep in relegation for season after season after season, with a large percentage of the same squad that Brucey still had, to be up where we are at the moment. Sometimes I think as fans we need to just pinch ourselves and remind ourselves how much that we have come and how much we have grown and how much ahead of schedule we actually truly are. So yeah, let me know what you think down below about the team, who's going to fill in, how we're going to get around the Bruno situation. We did it admirably down at Anfield, when we were missing so many players. We can do it again, there's no doubt about it. The players will be primed, the players will be ready, and the players will want to send the fans off, and the fans will want to send the players off with a positive result looking towards next weekend at Wembley Stadium. And we will of course see both of us, myself and Carl, will both be down there for the Wembley Showpiece final next weekend. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to also some announcements for Magpie 24/7 as well. Some big things happening for us very shortly, so it's a little bit of a tease and a reward for those of you who stuck with the video till the very end. So let's hope we can do it, get the 3 points, kill off their Champions League hopes, and yeah, teach fucking Turkey Teeth a few lessons as well. That'd also be great. So yeah, down below, let us know about this weekend's game, and yeah, we'll be back straight after the game with the first thoughts. And in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, keep it Magpie 24/7, and I'll speak to you later.